And now, the general weather around Alaska.
First graphic here showing a winter storm watch is out for the eastern Alaska range for tomorrow evening, Sunday evening into early Monday for snow, several inches expected, possible blowing snow through the passes as well. Otherwise, satellite imagery showing pretty strong low pressure area here moving up actually just south of the Alaska Peninsula, and that pushing clouds and moisture, rain up into south central Alaska here along the frontal boundary. Lighter rain this afternoon, Kodiak Island after heavier wind and rain overnight last night. And you can see that moisture pushing up into the North Gulf Coast and in toward the Panhandle this afternoon. Another cold front up here along the western Arctic coast, bringing some light precipitation up there. Ahead of that front, southwest flow clearing it out here from about the Yukon River up across the Brooks Range. A lot of sunshine today. Umiat Airfield to the eastern Arctic coast in the afternoon, and over toward the eastern interior as well. And rolling this through again, you can see this front kind of breaking up here as it tracks eastward. Last couple of frames showing some holes appearing in the cloud band there, kind of shredding up a little bit there. They'll continue to weaken as it pushes eastward. Then another system farther back to the west there will be heading across the Chukchi Sea here and toward the coast. And this will push through tonight, the front today. Got a 978 millibar low just south of the Alaska Peninsula. Winds gusting 40 to 55 miles an hour here across the eastern Aleutians earlier today, and winds gusting 35 to 45 miles an hour over the southwest interior. Bethel had a wind gust of about 35 miles an hour out of the east-northeast. And storm force winds today in the Barren Islands and areas of the North Gulf Coast. Middleton Island seeing peak wind gusts around 45 miles an hour. And about 2/3 of an inch of rain or so falling at Kodiak, and rain spreading into Yakutat and increasing along the southeast coast here, along with increasing winds here, the tighter gradient still to the west. And again, the clear skies here from Norton Sound along the Yukon River right up to the Arctic coast and into into Canada there, with this cold front tonight really kind of just dissipates as it moves eastward. And then that next one comes down in its place here. Actually, it looks like it moves backwards, but it really doesn't. This is another one coming in, and this area of light snow here, left over from the first one that falls to pieces there for the western Brooks Range North Slope area. Mixed precipitation down across Kotzebue Sound to the Seward Peninsula with rain. South of the Bering Strait, areas of rain and showers here in the northerly flow. And gusty winds, still gusting maybe 40, 45 miles an hour in the channeled areas of the Alaska Peninsula, becoming lighter for the eastern Aleutians, drying out with light winds for the central Aleutians out to Shimei and Attu. And whole system weakening here, so probably some gale force winds ahead of the front, losing the storm force winds. A new low develops here. Wet conditions across all of the southeast coast tonight. And after some solid rain overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning, front moves through, but still southwest flow, but rain will be lighter, more intermittent, and more showery for the Panhandle with lighter winds. Areas of snow along the coast range here, areas of rain and snow, south central Alaska. Not much getting north of the Alaska range there. And then drying out here over the western interior with maybe some clearing occurring out here. And then that next front weakening into a trough, bringing some snow, or rain and snow mixed into the Brooks, mostly snow in the Brooks Range North Slope, maybe mixed precipitation along the eastern Arctic coast, all on the light side. Isolated showers here along the west coast and the eastern Bering Sea, as well into the central Bering Sea as well, but winds pretty light out here again, really light and variable out west of Amchitka Island to Shimei and Attu and even the Komodorski. So a big area high pressure out in that area. And then moving ahead to Monday. Upper level trough, cold air coming down from the northwest produces an area of snow that starts Monday evening and continues into begins Sunday evening and continues at least into the afternoon Monday here. See snow falling from the North Gulf, or the coast range of the North Gulf Coast, Copper River Basin, right up across the Upper Tanana Valley, 40-mile country. North slope to the Arctic coast, kind of mixed back here to the west-northwest with the flow off the open waters of the Arctic Ocean there. And weak low here near St. Lawrence Island, showers, Seward Peninsula, Kotzebue Sound, Areas of rain here in westerly flow with that, reaching the Yukon Delta coast. We'll look for some clearing here for Bristol Bay, the Alaska Peninsula area, and slowly improving with northwest winds there. Should dry it out by late in the afternoon and evening for Kodiak Island. Until then, you'll have shower activity there, and wet here across North Gulf Coast, periods of rain, snow in the higher elevations of the Kenai Peninsula, as well as the Chugach Mountain areas, Copper River Basin. Again, as I mentioned, look for some snow there. Not much going on out here over the Bering Sea. Big area high pressure, light winds, some clearing in areas there. Next system starting to push some rain into the western Aleutians, but the main front still off the chart. Lows tonight for the Aleutians in the upper 30s to mid 40s, upper 30s for the Pribilofs, mid 30s for St. Lawrence Island, and along the coast there, teens for the Brooks Range, 20s to lower 30s for the North Slope of the Arctic coast, 30s to lower 40s here, south central Alaska, lower 30s, upper 20s, lower 30s across the central interior, and in the 40s for the southeast coast. Highs for tomorrow, 40s to lower 50s, warmest over the southern panhandle, near 50 here, southern Alaska, in the 40s, mid 40s, Fairbanks, North Pole, all the way down to Tok, Northway, and Eagle. About 40 there for Fort Yukon, upper 20s, lower 30s for the Brooks Range, and in the 30s for the North Slope and the Arctic coast. 40s all the way out, mid 40s out to the west coast here, and upper 40s to lower 50s for the Aleutians and the Bering Sea. Then lows for Monday morning, 15 to 25 there for the Brooks Range, and in the 20s to lower 30s for the North Slope to the Arctic coast. In the 20s here, much of the central interior, except lower 30s here, upper Tanana Valley areas, lower 30s Copper River Basin. In the 30s, all of south central Alaska now, except 40 near Homer, Seldovia, as well as Kodiak Island. In the 30s, Bristol Bay, 30s to lower 40s for the Aleutians, and in the 40s for the southeast coast, followed by highs in the 50s. So the Panhandle, 40s here, much of southern Alaska, and then into the 30s in the Tanana Valley and central interior, 25 to 30 for the Brooks Range, and lower to mid 30s for the Arctic coast.